Emma Caldwell's life had always been a whirlwind of ambition and innovation. As the CEO of Nexa Solutions, a cutting-edge tech startup in New York City, she thrived in the high-stakes environment of Silicon Alley. Her office was a pristine space of glass and steel overlooking the sprawling city below, a world of bright lights and ceaseless activity. It was the perfect setting for someone driven by the promise of success and the thrill of technological advancement. But on an ordinary Tuesday morning, as Emma scanned through her emails, a single enigmatic message appeared in her inbox, marked by an anonymous sender. The subject line was a chilling prelude. "I see you, Emma." She opened it hesitantly. The email contained only a single line. "I know what you did last summer." Attached was a photograph of Emma's office, taken from a vantage point she was certain no one else had seen. Her heart skipped a beat as she stared at the image. There was no mistaking it. The view was from inside her office. "Just a prank," Emma muttered to herself, trying to dismiss the rising sense of unease. But as days turned into weeks, the emails continued, each one more intrusive and disturbing than the last. They contained personal details, things only someone very close to her would know, along with menacing threats that escalated in intensity. One night, Emma found herself staring at her laptop in her dimly lit apartment. The screen glowed with a new message: "Your secrets are mine." Attached was a list of her recent meetings and a photograph of her and her closest colleague Maria out on a casual lunch break. Panic set in as she realized that someone was tracking her every move. Who's doing this? Emma's mind raced as she tried to connect the dots. She had no enemies, at least none that she knew of. Her paranoia was further fueled when Maria, along with several other colleagues, began to disappear mysteriously. The tech world buzzed with rumors and speculation, but no one could offer a solution to the chilling mystery. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma enlisted the help of a private investigator, Jake Ramirez. His initial inquiries led nowhere, but as he delved deeper, he stumbled upon a chilling connection between the emails and a long-forgotten technology that Emma had only heard whispers about. This technology, once the centerpiece of a failed project, was capable of manipulating digital information and invading personal privacy in ways that defied belief. As Emma and Jake traced the origins of this technology, they discovered that Dr. Victor Kane, a reclusive former tech visionary whose career had been destroyed by the scandal surrounding this very project, was behind the emails. Kane had spent years in isolation perfecting his revenge, using the technology to infiltrate and control his victims. One fateful night, Emma received an email that was different from the rest. It contained a live video feed from a hidden camera inside her own apartment. The footage showed her and Jake working together, and then it shifted to a darkened room where Kane was seated, his face obscured by shadows. "Welcome to my lair," Kane's voice echoed through the speakers. "You've been a most interesting subject, Emma. I've enjoyed watching you unravel." The horror of realizing Kane's proximity was overwhelming. Emma and Jake raced against time to track down Kane, but every lead seemed to be a trap, every step a carefully orchestrated part of his plan. Their search took them through abandoned buildings, darkened alleys, and hidden rooms, each more unnerving than the last. In a tense confrontation, Emma faced Kane in a decrepit warehouse, his technology arrayed around him like a sinister altar. Kane's plan was revealed. He intended to use the technology to control and destroy those who had overshadowed him, turning their own fears and secrets against them. "You see, Emma," Kane said with a twisted grin, "I never wanted to be forgotten. I wanted to make sure that those who wronged me never find peace." With a desperate surge of courage, Emma managed to sabotage Kane's technology, dismantling the setup and severing the network of control he had established. Kane's plans were thwarted, but not without cost. As the police arrived to apprehend him, Emma and Jake emerged from the ordeal forever changed. The final email Emma received was a chilling reminder of the ordeal. You may have won this time, but the shadows never truly disappear. The unsettling reminder lingered as Emma looked out over the city, the lights of New York flickering in the distance. Emma's life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but the shadows of the inbox had left an indelible mark on her psyche. The city's bright lights now seemed dimmer, the bustling streets more ominous. In the end, the true horror was not just the technology or the threats, but the realization that the darkest fears could come from the most unexpected corners of our own lives. Marcus Holloway had always prided himself on his orderly life. As a history teacher at Arborville High School, his days were filled with the comforting routine of lesson plans and student interactions. His small, charming house on Maple Street was a sanctuary of normalcy and predictability, a stark contrast to the chaos of the outside world. It was during one of these routine days that Marcus received an email that would forever alter his life. The subject line was innocuous, regarding your past. But as Marcus opened the message, his blood ran cold. The email contained a detailed description of a long-forgotten event from his past, a tragic accident he had been involved in years ago. It ended with a chilling line: "You can't escape what you've done." Initially dismissing the email as a prank or a mistake, Marcus went about his life, albeit with a nagging sense of unease. But the emails continued, each one more disturbing than the last. They detailed personal secrets, foretold events that were yet to happen, and even began to influence real-life occurrences. Marcus's once stable world began to unravel. His first sign of trouble came when a colleague, Mrs. Thompson, mentioned that her beloved cat had gone missing, an event eerily predicted in one of the emails. Then came the email about a break-in at his home. To his horror, he returned one evening to find his house had been ransacked, though nothing of value was stolen. Desperation drove Marcus to seek help. He consulted local historians and tech experts, trying to trace the source of the emails. His search led him to an old case of a missing woman, Isabella Wren, whose disappearance had shocked the town years ago. Isabella had been a rising artist, her promising future cut short under mysterious circumstances. As Marcus dug deeper, he uncovered unsettling connections between the emails and Isabella's fate. It became clear that someone, or something, was using the emails to manipulate and torment him. The once mundane life of Marcus Holloway was now plagued by supernatural forces. The emails grew more threatening, predicting and causing real-life accidents and conflicts. Marcus's personal life deteriorated as relationships strained under the weight of his paranoia and fear. He could no longer distinguish between reality and the malevolent influence of the emails. One fateful night, Marcus received an email with a live video feed from a hidden camera inside his home. The footage showed him pacing nervously while a shadowy figure loomed behind him, Isabella Wren's ghost. Her face, though ethereal and distorted, was unmistakable. The message was clear: face the truth or suffer the consequences. Desperate and terrified, Marcus confronted the spirit in a chilling encounter at the abandoned gallery where Isabella had last been seen. The gallery, now a decrepit shell, was filled with Isabella's unfinished artwork, each piece depicting scenes of torment and despair. As Marcus faced Isabella's vengeful spirit, he was forced to confront the secrets of his past, including his inadvertent role in a tragic accident that had contributed to her disappearance. "You left me behind," Isabella's ghost lamented, "and now you must pay for your silence." With a mixture of courage and remorse, Marcus confessed his guilt and the mistakes he had made. He explained how the accident was an unintended consequence of his actions and how he had been trying to live with the burden of guilt ever since. As he spoke, Isabella's form began to waver, her anger giving way to a more sorrowful presence. "Release me," she pleaded. "I need to be free of this pain." Marcus, moved by her plight, offered a heartfelt apology and promised to make amends. The emails ceased abruptly, and the ghostly presence dissipated. The haunting had come to an end, but not without leaving a lasting impact on Marcus's life. In the aftermath, Marcus worked to honor Isabella's memory, dedicating a portion of his time to raising awareness about unresolved cases and helping those who, like Isabella, had been wronged. Arborville returned to its peaceful state, but Marcus's life had irrevocably changed. The shadow of the emails had revealed the deep connection between past actions and their enduring consequences, teaching him that some ghosts are not easily laid to rest. Sarah Mercer had always found solace in the rhythmic click of her keyboard, the hum of her laptop, and the solitary world of her writing. Living in Silicon Valley, she was surrounded by the latest technology and innovative minds, yet her apartment was a sanctuary of quiet comfort. That was until a peculiar email arrived in her inbox, shattering her tranquil existence. The email was devoid of a subject line and came from an untraceable address. Its contents were deeply unsettling. "I see you, Sarah. I know your every move." Attached was a photograph of Sarah's apartment building, taken from a perspective she hadn't noticed before. Confused and unsettled, Sarah dismissed it as a prank, but the intrusion was only the beginning. The next email was even more alarming, detailing Sarah's recent grocery shopping trip with uncanny accuracy. It ended with a chilling threat. "This is only the beginning. Watch your back." Sarah's initial unease turned to fear as strange coincidences began to occur around her home. Items in her apartment were moved, and her computer seemed to act up with strange glitches. Desperate for answers, Sarah reached out to her tech-savvy friend, Aaron Collins. Aaron, intrigued by the mystery, helped Sarah trace the email's origin, but they found no trace of the sender. As Sarah continued to receive the disturbing emails, they predicted increasingly ominous events, including a car accident involving her best friend, Emily. The tension mounted as Sarah's world unraveled. Her daily routines were disrupted by eerie occurrences, unexplained noises in her apartment, flickering lights, and ominous shadows lurking just beyond her vision. The emails were relentless, and the threats became increasingly personal and violent. In her investigation, Sarah discovered that Victor Kane, a reclusive tech genius, had once been involved in a scandalous case of illegal surveillance. Victor's technology had been used to invade people's privacy, leading to a public outcry and his subsequent disappearance. Sarah realized that Victor's vengeful spirit might be behind the digital phantom tormenting her. The climax of the story occurred when Sarah uncovered a hidden network of surveillance cameras and devices embedded throughout her apartment and the surrounding area. The final email revealed Victor's face, distorted by digital corruption, and a message: "Your turn to face the truth." Sarah was forced to confront Victor in a tense showdown at an abandoned tech lab where she learned the full extent of his malevolent influence. Victor, though a ghostly presence, used his technological knowledge to manipulate Sarah's fears and control her environment. His anger and desire for revenge were rooted in his downfall and the abuse of his creations. Sarah, with Aaron's help, managed to disable the surveillance network and confront Victor's spirit, ultimately freeing herself from the digital phantom's grasp. In the aftermath, Sarah's life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but she remained vigilant. The experience left her with a deep understanding of the dangers lurking in the digital age. She continued her writing career with renewed purpose, using her experiences to shed light on the dark side of technology and the importance of safeguarding privacy in an increasingly interconnected world. Thanks for joining us on this unsettling journey through the shadows of technology and terror. If these stories left you looking over your shoulder and questioning the safety of your inbox, then we've done our job. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more spine-tingling content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Did these digital horrors creep you out? We'd love to hear your experiences and theories. Until next time, keep your devices close and your nightmares closer. Stay safe, and remember, in the world of horror, the scariest things are often the ones we can't see.